Mikozi zimagwirira ntchito.
Uthengawu akukupatsirani da Human Rights Resource Center mogwirizana ndi makhonsolo adowa Mchisi ndi Nsanje.
Mwaswera Grace.
Ndaswera kai maive.
Mwagula mabuku kodi?
Ayi ndabwereka ku library.
Kodi yakuopen secondary school so mmatha kugwiritsa ntchito library ya school?
Ndichina chilichonsetu. Library, labu ya science, ya ICT, komanso maphunziro amakono apa phone, tablet, computer ndi digital learning. Timagwiritsa ntchito notesmaster.com. Ndi chimodzimodzi lophunzira aliyense wa ku secondary school ya boma.
Izi zinthu ndiye zosangalatsa. Maphunziro apamwamba ndithu. Ayiveru bajasana sankhidwe ndini madankhawa kuti kodi kadi ndipanga bwanji.
Ife tonse amene tinakhonza mayeso a 8 koma sitinasankhidwe kupita ku secondary, munasiyira sukulu ya secondary panjira, kapena mukufuna kutsitsa ma points, dziwani kuti unduna wa maphunziro a primary ndi secondary unakhazikitsa maphunziro a open secondary schools ngati njira imodzi yonjezera mwayi wa maphunziro apamwamba kudzera msukulu za secondary za m'madera athu kumene kuli aphunzitsi odziwa ntchito yawo bwino komanso zipangizo zapamwamba zoyenera pa maphunziro. Musazengereze, kalembetsani lero ku open secondary school ya mdera lanu kuti mupeze maphunziro apamwamba.
Uthengawu akukupatsirani ndi unduna wa maphunziro aku primary ndi secondary kudzera ku Equals Project ndi thandizo la ndalama lochokera ku World Bank.
Are you looking for a good venue for your next event? Welcome to Our Lady of Africa Conference Center, nestled alongside our guest house and delectable restaurant located in the capital city, Lilongwe. Whether it's a corporate meeting, a wedding reception, or a family gathering, we have the space and amenities to accommodate your needs. With good accommodation, facilities, and mouth-watering cuisine, your event is sure to be a memorable success. For more information, contact us on 0997 277 720 or on 0997 452 093. Book now and let us help you create unforgettable moments. Our Lady of Africa Conference Center is located on Likuni Road, about 250 meters from Bypass Roundabout towards Chinsapo, before the police road.
Luntha Television, bringing wisdom into your home.
Hello and welcome to our news bulletin coming to you live from Bishop Neve Media Center, and you have me, Patrick Popper. First, the headlines. Pope Leo the 14th says Christ's resurrection brings hope to the darkness of human history. Suspected panga wielding thugs case adjourned to Thursday. Fourth President State Opening Address for lacking economic recovery plan. And in international news, anti-migrant group ordered to stop blocking foreigners from South African FKR. Those were the headlines, now the news in detail. During the Wednesday general audience in St. Peter's Square, Pope Leo XIV reflected on the transforming power of Christ's resurrection as the heart of faith and the guiding light amid the uncertainties of human history. The Holy Father reminded the faithful that belief in the resurrection is not an abstract idea or a distant memory, but the living foundation of Christian life. In a world often overshadowed by suffering, doubt, and confusion, he said the Paschal mystery continues to reveal God's enduring love and the promise of renewal for all creation. We have a Vatican News report read by Tanduem Zumara.
Addressing pilgrims gathered in the square, Pope Leo described the resurrection as the dawn that breaks through the night of despair, offering meaning and direction to daily life. He said that in the risen Christ, humanity finds the assurance of a path that brings order to chaos and healing to wounded hearts. Recalling the trials that mark every human life, the Pope spoke of Easter as a passage from the way of the cross to the way of light, a journey where pain gives way to joy and where each moment, however fragile, becomes a step toward fulfillment in God. He emphasized that faith in the resurrection calls believers to witness with courage and gentleness, allowing Christian hope to renew the face of the world. Reflecting on the mystery of life and death, the Holy Father noted that every person carries within a longing for fullness, a desire that no earthly reality can satisfy. This yearning, he said, finds its response in the victory of love over sin and life over death. Pope Leo highlighted that in the light of Easter, even suffering and limitation are transfigured. The risen Lord, he affirmed, walks beside humanity in every trial, turning fear into faith and uncertainty into trust. He urged the faithful to live each day as an Easter day, drawing strength from the Eucharist and witnessing to the joy that flows to the empty tomb. Concluding his catechesis, the Pope reflected on the first Easter morning when the women seeking the body of Jesus found instead the sign of new life, the empty tomb, and the message of angel. In that moment, he said history was forever changed, for the resurrection revealed that love is stronger than death and that hope has the final word.
Archbishop George Desmond Tambara has urged priests, brothers, sisters, and lay faithful in the Catholic Church to always remember that life on earth is temporary and to strive to live exemplary lives as the true servants of God. He made the call during All Souls Day celebration held at Our Lady of the Holy Rosary Parish in Likoni within the Archdiocese of Lilongwe. Archbishop Tambara said the Church uses this day to remember priests, sisters, and brothers who died while serving, recognizing their important contribution to the mission of the Archdiocese. Emmanuel Chocha reports.
During the ceremony, the lay faithful, dressed in white and purple, gathered at Likoni Parish to pray for the souls of the departed servants of God who dedicated their life to missionary work. In his homily, Archbishop Tambara reminded the faithful that they are candles meant to bring light to others while they live, encouraging them to serve God and humanity with humility and zeal. He compared Christian life to a candle that eventually stops giving light, emphasizing the importance of using one time on earthly wisely in the service of God and the Church.
Yeah, this comes from the words of Jesus himself in the Gospels, where he says, "There's no greater love than to lay down one's life for others." All priests, sisters, brothers, basically they lay their lives for others. It's a life of forgetting oneself. It's a life of dying to oneself so that others may have life. So I gave the example of a candle. A candle gives light to others, but it gradually diminishes and dies away. And that's not something that we should be sorry about or even worry about or even fear. For us, as servants of God, we shouldn't mind about ourselves, basically. The more Christ we share with the world, the better. So that's what I wanted to say.
Chairperson of the laity in the Archdiocese of Lilongwe, Patrick Ripava, described All Souls Day as a special time for unity and prayer, urging the faithful to continue praying for priests, brothers, and sisters who dedicated their life to spreading the word of God.
it encourages us Christians, and it strengthens our faith as Christians, as we believe that there's life after this life, there's life after death. So coming together, praying for the souls of the departed servants of God in the church, it gives us a strong faith to say there is really a life after this life.
Globally, the Catholic Church observes November 2 as All Souls Day, a day set aside to pray for the dead in the Archdiocese of Lilongwe. The first week of November is dedicated to prayers for all who lived consecrated lives in the service to the Church. For Luntha News, in Lilongwe, this is Emmanuel Juocha.
Remember, you are watching news on Luntha television. We'll be back after this short break.
It's the 2025 Praise Experience Malawi Gospel Extravaganza, probably the biggest gospel concert of the year, live at the BICC Lilongwe, 6 December 2025, featuring 28 of Malawi's A-list gospel artists, including Miracle Chinga, Kamuzu Barracks Gospel Singers, Lloyd Perry, Great Angels Choir, Marvelous Deeds, Ande Seko, Maggie Mangani, Norman Perry, Alex Nkalo, Debbie N, Confidence Voices, Bishop Chimwemwe Muhango, Ruth Misi, Musa Bwemba, Chris Kantunze, Carlo Kadzua, Sam Maliza, Reverend Dayton Bewe, Betha Nkoma, Rudo Chakwera, Peter Mlangeni, Martha Mituga, and many more. Charges: standard ticket 20,000 kwacha advance and 30,000 at the door. VIP 50,000 kwacha, VVIP 100,000 kwacha. Tickets available at Lloyd Perry Shop, Toto Walkers, Patanki, Kabale Filling Station, Area 18 Filling Station, Area 18 Sanamu, Best Oil, CBM Superstorm Sungwi, Area 49 Panda, Nomonde Design Shop at BICC, Toto Filling Station City Center, BICC Reception, Maula Puma Filling Station, Puma Crossroads Filling Station, Kaunda Puma, Likuni Filling Station, Pamalewezi, Toto Bunda Filling Station, and Biwi Filling Station. Doors open at exactly 10 a.m. All artists will perform live, backed by the Praise Experience Band, and the entire show will be filmed for the Praise Experience Malawi Volume 2 album. So look sharp and dress for the occasion. Remember, all roads lead to the BICC in Lilongwe on 6 December for the 2025 Praise Experience Malawi Gospel Extravaganza, powered by AIA LED, Umodzi Park, TNM, and Web Tickets. See you there.
kulipira school fees kwaphweka tsopano ndi send fees pa airtel money mutha kulipira school fees mosavuta kudzera pa foni yanu. Tsatirani ndondomeko zotsatirazi. Choyamba, imbani *211#. Pamene yomwe mutapatsidwe sankhani 8 kuti mulipire fees. Pitirizani posankha 1 yomwe ndi send fees. Kenako mudzafunsidwa kuti mulowetse admissions number. Kuchoka apo mudzaona skulu yomwe mufuna kulipira komanso dzina la ophunzira. Onetsetsani kuti zonse ndi zolondola. Pitirirani ndi kuyika ndalama zomwe mufuna kulipira.
Welcome back. In case you are just joining us, remember you are watching News Bulletin right here on Luntha Television, and you are with me, Patrick Popper. But before we proceed, let's take a look up of our top stories. Pope Leo XIV says Christ's resurrection brings hope to the darkness of human history. Suspected panga wielding thugs case adjourned to Thursday. Fourth President State opening address for lacking economic recovery plan. And in international news, anti-migrant group ordered to stop blocking foreigners from South African healthcare. Senior Resident Magistrate Court in Lilongwe will continue hearing bail application by 11 suspected panga wielding thugs on Thursday, 6 November 2025. State has paraded investigator of the case in opposition to the bail application. The 11 are answering robbery and malicious damage charges in connection to the violent incident at Mbowe filling station last year. Robert Edward reports.
The 11, including Munro Makina, Eric Pagamisa, and Dave Magina, will again spend another night in police custody, waiting continuation of their bail application made by their lawyers on Wednesday. Lawyers for the accused, which include Crispin Kambarame and Christopher Ndala, reiterated that bail remains a constitutional right for the accused regardless of the case. But in opposition, State brought an investigator into the case.
As we all saw, they have all denied the charges leveled against them. They are in fact answering to 9 counts of an incident that happened at Mbowe somewhere around February 2024. So after they all had completed the taking of plea, we had proceeded to make an application for their release on bail. While in the middle of proceeding to hear the application, particularly the response from the state, the court has seen it wise that we proceed with the proceedings tomorrow at 9 o'clock. So yeah, to answer your question, that is essentially
their accounts are connected to 2024 violent acts at Mbowe filling station, where the suspected panga-wielding thugs attacked DPP supporters. There are 5 robbery charges and 4 malicious damage charges. On Wednesday, Senior Resident Magistrate Wanangwa Nyirenda has since adjourned the hearing of the bail application to Thursday. For Luntha, this is Robert Edward.
Leader of opposition in Parliament, Simplex Chichola Banda, has criticized President Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika's state opening address, saying it lacked a clear economic recovery plan and failed to outline concrete measures to address Malawi's economic challenges. Chichola Banda also questioned the government talk with the IMF, asking for clarity on the conditions attacked. The leader of opposition made these and other remarks on Wednesday during the first parliament sitting of the 52nd session. Gift Kalonga with the details.
Chichura Banda said that the state of address by President Peter Mutharika lacked responses to economic recovery plan, and it failed to give details of what they are going to do to fix the economic challenges. On the buying of maize from Zambia, he said that the government was supposed to buy maize from mega farmers because it could buy it at lower price other than buying from Zambia at higher prices. Looking at the economic challenges the country is facing, the leader of opposition also asked the government to be a unifying government by not targeting those from opposition when arresting people, and he has also asked the government to refrain from depriving people their rights, and he gave an example of 15 men who are being rearrested after giving a bail. On free education, he said that the education is not free because the government has just removed the tuition fee, leaving the boarding fee, which he says it's just partial subsidy, and he has asked the government to make education free in its totality.
You remember that as leader of opposition, our work is to provide oversight through provision of checks and balances. So for the few days that we've had to analyze the SONA, we've gotten so many gaps. Number one, on economy, there is nothing really that the SONA is providing to Malawians in terms of economic recovery plan. Because after analyzing the economic challenges, they were supposed to come up with an economic recovery plan.
In his response, the Minister of Finance, Joseph Mwanamveka, clarified that there is currently no agreement between the government and the International Monetary Fund, IMF. The minister explained that the IMF team is in the country to engage in discussions and understand the situation, adding that talks about the extended credit facility program or a possible staff monitoring program are still ongoing. He emphasized that the remarks made by the leader of opposition were politically motivated and not factual, assuring Malawians that any future program with the IMF will be designed to benefit the nation.
Coming is just what we are calling scoping mission. There's no agreement. They have just come to understand the situation on the ground as we speak now, and then from there we will discuss and we will see whether we should be going discussing the ECF program, or we can go into what we call a staff monetary program.
Meanwhile, the leader of opposition has assured Malawians that it is very committed to save Malawians and its office is open for every Malawian. For Luntha News, this is Gift Kalonga.
The 2025 Malawi Alternative Mining Indawa has ended in Lilongwe, with stakeholders accusing one another for delays in the comment of reaping from the minerals that have already been extracted for a period of over 20 years. On one side, there's civil society organizations, development partners, and communities, while on the other side, there's the government of Malawi through the Ministry of Natural Resources and Mining, the Ministry of Finance via the Malawi Revenue Authority, and the Mining and Minerals Regulatory Authority. Sam Kalimba has filed this report, read by Gift Kalonga.
The Indaba started on a high note with a solidarity march from Kaunda Roundabout to Crossroads Hotel. Community member delegates to the Indaba showcase placards depicting rights and wishes demands from the authorities. During the opening session of the Indaba, the country director for the NCA-DCA Malawi, Stephen Jansen, emphasized the importance of the authorities to implement the good policies that have been laid down. Paso Chikoti, acting director of mining at the Ministry of Natural Resources and Mining, was guest of honor, and he assured the Indaba that government of Malawi is doing everything possible to regulate the industry. To substantiate his assertion, he said that the enactment of the Mines and Minerals Act, establishment of regulatory authority, and the review of the mining policy are good indicators for government's efforts to improve the sector. The Mines and Minerals Regulatory Authority Director General, Samuel Sakuta, told the gathering that the authority is trying its best despite threats from the miners and asked the CSOs to join hands with them to work possible solutions to the woes. In one of the panel discussions, Kosa Muntari from Focus accused the system of managing the sector as being retrogressive. He cited the law that allows the minister to appoint and fire both chairperson and the deputy of the MRA board. He said that this is why the person appointed is handicapped to being independent of the appointing authority. The Indaba concluded with complaints from the youth and women sectors for being sidelined on decision-making and skills development fronts. The Indaba concluded with complaints from the youth and women sectors for being sidelined on decision-making and skills development fronts.
And finally, in international news, a South African court has ordered an anti-migrant group to stop blocking foreign nationals from accessing public health facilities and schools, saying such actions are illegal. Operation Dudura has in recent months protested hospitals and clinics province, checking identity cards and stopping anyone who is not South African from entering. This has since extended to schools. Tandu Mzumara is reading a BBC News report.
The High Court in Johannesburg has ordered the group to stop intimidating, harassing, or interfering with access to these facilities. South Africa is home to about 2.4 million migrants, just less than 4% of the population, according to official figures. Most come from the neighboring countries such as Lesotho, Zimbabwe, and Mozambique, which have a history of providing migrant labor to their wealthy neighbor. Xenophobia has long been an issue in South Africa, which has been accompanied by occasional outbursts of deadly violence, and anti-migrant sentiment has become a key political talking point. Judge Lester Adams, handing down judgment on Tuesday, also barred Operation Dudula from making statements that can be construed as hate speech and lawfully evicting foreign nationals from their homes or from their trading stalls and instigating others to do so. Dudula means to remove something by force in the Zulu language. The organization says it is disappointed by the ruling and intends to appeal against it, according to South African online publication News 24.
With that BBC News report read by Tandiwe Mzumara also brings us to the end of our today's news bulletin. But before I go, top stories once again. Pope Leo XIV says Christ's resurrection brings hope to the darkness of human history. Suspected panga wielding thugs case adjourned to Thursday. Fourth President State opening address for lacking economic recovery plan. And in international news, anti-migrant group ordered to stop blocking foreigners from South African health care. This has been Patrick Pooper. Thanks for the pleasure of your company and continue watching Luntha Television. Goodbye.
the 2025 Press Experience Malawi Gospel Extravaganza, probably the biggest gospel concert of the year, live at the BICC Lilongwe, 6 December 2025, featuring 28 of Malawi's A-list gospel artists, including Miracle Chinga, Kamuzu Barracks Gospel Singers, Lloyd Perry, Great Angels Choir, Marvelous Deeds, Ande Seko, Maggie Mangani, Norman Perry, Alex Nkalo, Debbie N, Confidence Voices, Bishop Chimwemwe Mhango, Ruth Misi, Musa Bwemba, Chris Kantunze, Carlo Kadzua, Sam Mali